Hello everyone, my name is Moji. You're watching a Bitcoin Bubble News channel. Looking at the two options I see, I think we should forget about all the other things that go into judging a president, etc., and just focus on the economically sound choices. If you only look at money, Donald Trump would be a much better choice than Joe Biden, right? What are the bad things about that now that you look at it? You should know what the rules are, right? With J.D. Vance as vice president and the people he hangs out with, there will be less government oversight, a weaker dollar, and a better knowledge of crypto and AI, among other things. Let's say you look at a lower dollar, right? It could cause prices to rise. This doesn't have to be true, but it can be. Also, Trump just recently said that he wants to lower the business tax rate from 21% to 15%, which sounds great. A few weeks ago, Phil Rosen, co-founder of Opening Bell Daily, interviewed Anthony Pompliano, CEO of Professional Capital Management. Pompliano talked about a number of important topics, such as the future of interest rate cuts, the Trump trade's effects on investors, and Bitcoin. Investors are looking forward to what will happen because Trump's increasing chances of becoming president are causing excitement and uncertainty. He said that some investors are thinking back to 2016, when Trump's policies led to less government control, a falling dollar, and no interest rates. Pompliano said that the market currently thinks there is an 80% to 90% chance that interest rates will go down by September, which is right before the election. He thought it was interesting that Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, said the Fed might wait too long if they wait until inflation hits 2%, while Trump said the Fed shouldn't lower rates before the election. Pompliano also said that he thinks interest rates show how the economy is doing and that the Trump trade is mostly caused by policy-related deregulation. He thinks that the recent rise in Bitcoin prices is more likely because someone tried to kill Trump than because his election is going better. I think trade stuff is funny, right? I believe there are two things. For starters, there's the fun. We're having a really dull summer because the weather isn't going anywhere. People want something exciting to look forward to. Here comes, President Trump. His chances of becoming president are through the roof. People say, let's take a look back at 2016, what took place. There was less government control, the dollar lost value, and interest rates were zero. All of these things happened, and if Trump wins, we'll go back to them right away. So all that joy is just guesswork, right? On the other hand, he talks about some of his ideas and how he wants to loosen up rules. It does look like some of the measures would make the dollar weaker, cause inflation to rise, and so on. Then how do you set yourself up? You should also raise your chances of winning if the odds are going up so that you can benefit from the situation. At this point, I don't think the interest rate cuts are as important to the Trump trade as a whole. Both Trump and Biden have used soft power to mess with the Federal Reserve a lot. They don't go to the Federal Reserve and tell Jerome Powell, hey, you're going to do this. But they do try to influence it, right? Trump used Twitter to get people to do what he wanted. He would just go on Twitter and start talking about different things like making the dollar weak more. It would be more politically correct to say that Biden called Jerome Powell to his office more than once when things weren't going so well. It was kind of like calling the teacher from the principal's office to say, hey, what's going on? So this isn't a political issue. The economy is a big part of how people rate the president of the United States. What is the cost of capital? That's one of the most important things that goes into the business. Which is why, even though you don't have power, you naturally want to change what you think should happen. He is now telling the people, hey, they shouldn't cut interest rates before the election that would be meddling in the race. That would be all of these different things on the same side. Some of what Dr. Powell said made me think, listen, if we wait until inflation is at 2%, we waited too long, so this is a very interesting situation. The market shows that there is an 80% to 90% chance that interest rates will be lowered by September. This depends on the type of data you look at, such as a forecast market, bond yields, etc. That's a few months before an election. And so that's just an interesting side note. But I think the Trump trade is more about policy, like lowering rules, etc. Most likely interest rates show more about what's going on in the business. The fact that Trump is likely to win makes it harder for me to believe that Bitcoin's price is going up. Yes, he seems to like crypto and Bitcoin. This person has said, hey, I'm for crypto, I'll keep this safe. He might have even said that he wants all Bitcoins to be made in the United States. Very good phrase. But that's not exactly how the network works. At least I think the sentiment is well accepted by the American people. It seems to me that Bitcoin's value has been rising because someone tried to kill the president. Okay, and the idea that that could be a destabilizing event is so chaotic, unclear, and always changing that people are now saying, wait a minute, there's political violence going on. You've seen this happen in other places too. That's where I get the data point from. Things have gone wrong in some of the places you've seen. There has been some kind of fight over politics. There has been some kind of trouble, chaos, doubt, and so on. And there are more Bitcoin buyers in those places. The price actually goes down if you look back to Saturday night, the night that someone shot Donald Trump. You can see that on the news of the president. The former president has been shot. It's like when news gets out and tweets about it, the price goes down. After everyone checks to see if he's okay, the price goes through the roof. What that means to me is that the price went down because there was a moment of fear and worry. Like, did the former president just get killed? Did someone just kill him on live TV? Price went up as soon as people realized it didn't work or be successful. This is because people feel like we're in a new age now. Yes, as it stands, there hasn't been a real attempt to kill the president or a past president in decades. People began to think, oh, this is possible after that happened. Okay, there's some doubt in this. I think that's the reason why Bitcoin has been going up. From my point of view, looking at the two choices on the table from an economic point of view, forget about all the other things that are, part of judging a president, etc. If you only look at money, Donald Trump would be a much better choice than Joe Biden, right? What are the bad things about that now that you look at it? You should know what the rules are, right? With J.D. Vance as vice president and the people he hangs out with, there will be less government oversight, a weaker dollar, and a better knowledge of crypto and AI, among other things. Let's say you look at a lower dollar, right? It could cause prices to rise. This doesn't have to be true, but it can be. Besides that, something new that Trump said is that he wants to lower the business tax rate from 21% to 15%, which sounds great. The Laffer curve is a thing, right? And Art Laffer thought that lowering the corporate tax rate would lead to more jobs, research and development, innovation, growth, and other good things. This way, even though each company pays a smaller percentage, the total amount of taxes collected will go up. But one great thing about Bitcoin is that it looks like the facts are on its side, right? It's kind of the truth on its side. That means that hundreds of millions of people around the world have it and use it. The Bitcoin network is the best computer network that has ever been made. On top of that, governments all over the world are becoming much more open to and supportive of illegal regulation treatment. Not only that, but Bitcoin is the only asset I know of that has kept your buying power safe over the last 10 years of rising prices. When you look at it that way, you think, okay, of all the things that store value, this is probably one of the most popular and most stable. It is now treated the same by the law and the government as other goods and shop values. What's more, it has kept my buying power better than anything else. You should pay attention if you're in the business of money, right? It's like the facts have changed and it's now very clear. Last but not least, I want to say that Jamie Time is not stupid, right? It seems like this guy is very smart. And so sure, in hindsight, he probably would have. Think about the past 10 years and say, man, I wish I had bought Bitcoin and understood this and gone to the bank and all that. Yes. It's not where you start, though. It's all about whether you change your mind when new information comes your way.